Welcome back. Today we are going to go over my warm-up and mostly my exercises that I do for rehab right now. So I've talked recently about my hip and knee bothering me. I've gotten some help from an awesome PT named Maddie Betts. She works for Affiliate PT in Columbus, and she gave me a few stuff to work on. Although I am a physical therapist and I kind of know what to do, it's really easy to overlook stuff when it's yourself. Or sometimes I have the problem that I do too much. I just do a little bit of everything. I'm never really targeting exactly what I need to work on. So getting an outside opinion is super important for everyone, but even for people like me who know what's going on and know what I should be doing, it's nice to be told what to do sometimes. So she gave me 4 exercises that I've been doing every single day in my warm-ups, specifically making sure I'm doing them before squatting. So I am going to squat today, and then I'm going to snatch after that, and then I have more snatching and squatting in my workout. So it's a perfect time to start with them. So I start with, depends on the day, but today I already ran this morning, so I don't feel like super stiff right now. So I'm going to start with my PT exercises for my hip, and then I will do more of a general warm-up before I start squatting. And the warm-up kind of varies depending on what I'm doing. So like today, since I'm just gonna go into box squats, which is not super intense and not a super difficult thing, I don't have to get my heart rate super high or get my body super warm before I do that. So for stuff like that, it's mostly making sure my joints are ready, my range of motion is ready, all of my accessory muscles are warmed up and ready to stabilize me during the squat, instead of doing like burpees and biking, and I won't really do much cardio equipment before something like that because it's just about getting ready for the movement. Okay, so this one, I've got the band on the rig and I'm putting it up around my, like right at the top of my femur on my thigh, close to my groin, and then I want to yank it out so there's tension, which is a pretty thick band. I'm going to cross my leg, and then I'm going to go out a little bit more. So as you can see, the band is pulling my femur down, and this is like a glide on my hip joint, so it's just kind of pulling it down. And then what I can do is push on the femur here and add into that stretch a little bit more. So what the problem that Maddie, the physical therapist, told me was that my femur was just too far forward and my hip flexor was getting overactivated and overworked, so we're trying to pull my femur back in the socket where it's supposed to be. That sounds gross, but it's not a big deal. This one is another banded hip distraction mob. So band behind me, again in the hip crease, nice and tight. I'm gonna go out as far as I can tension-wise. And I'm actually gonna cross my other leg behind, and I'm gonna kind of lean back onto my bad hip. So this is the hip here. It's kind of weird to explain it. It's kind of a pinchy feeling, which is good because it needs to be pulling my hip joint back as I'm kind of impinging it on purpose. I mostly feel a stretch here and a little bit of pinchiness here, but it's not super painful. And this has actually gotten better. This is like week 3 of doing this. It's gotten significantly better. The first time I did it, it was very pinchy and kind of painful. So this one is kind of strange. Basically just doing an elevated front foot lunge with band resistance, and really engaging my glute in the bottom of this and kind of leaning into it like the squat position here and holding for at least a minute. It seems easy and stupid because my back knee is down, and I'm probably at the point where I need to start raising my back knee up a little bit, like lifting it and holding for a certain amount of time, but I'm just holding to fatigue here, making it hard, really working on my little stabilizers on my hip. So this one is kind of weird. Basically working on range of motion, so moving actively through the range of motion. Like in this position, obviously I'm getting a little bit of external rotation stretch. This one I'm getting internal rotation stretch, stretching my adductor a lot. And then I'm gonna kind of lean forward into the stretch and pull myself back. So I'm working through the range of motion on both sides, both the external here and the internal here. I'm gonna do 5 reps forward. Oh, this last one is like a standing clamshell kind of. So you're gonna stand one leg. What we're really working on this one is the stance leg. So obviously this leg moving is gonna be working this hip, but mostly we're focusing on this one being stable. You don't want this knee going in. You want this hip being active, the knee staying pushed out. Wow, you're externally rotating your opposite hip. And I like to do this one last, especially like immediately before I start squatting, to make sure my little rotators are turned on and ready to go. I don't typically box squat, but I've been box squatting in the last week I just didn't squat. The week before I box squatted because my knee and hip has been hurting when I squat really heavy below parallel. So it's better than not squatting at all. So we do this if we need to. This is 135. We're going up to 235 for my first set. So still a long ways to go. So on squat days, especially when it's heavy, or lifting days in general, I take a ton of sets to warm up to my working sets. Even if I'm just snatching and it's like my starting weight's 125, I still do like 65, 75, 85. You want to get really, really warm. So with squats specifically, I'll do up to 10 sets before I start my actual set, making sure I'm warm and feeling good when I start. That is a huge key to keeping injuries out and making sure your body feels good. So super important to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, a little bit different, shared my exercises. Again, shout out to Maddie for giving me these, she's awesome. Check her out at Affiliate PT if you're curious, because she has some great insight, especially in the CrossFit world. Yeah, if you guys like this, hit the like button, put in the comments what you liked, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.